So Jono asked me, Jono right here. Jono asked me, why do you think men are suffering in the dating world? So I'll tell you why men are suffering. So men are suffering, I think, because of the spread of feminism. And a lot of girls might think, oh, feminism is so empowering. You're just trying to make girls not work. No, I'm not saying don't make girls work. I'm saying what feminism is doing is it's infiltrating the minds of women and making them think they don't need men anymore. It's not anything about like, yo, stop fucking working. You have no ability. You should not have the option to work. No, we're not trying to oppress women. I don't think that's what men say. They're not meaning that when it's about like feminism fucked it up. You know, it's about their whole attitude and persona about men. Now it's all this like poisonous crap about, you know, I don't need a man and I'm a boss babe. I'm independent. Mm-hmm. So how this converts into men suffering is because they experience a lot of these women who treat them like shit during dates. Mm-hmm. Like they would ask certain things and question the guy where it's like, you're fucking dumb. And then the guy is just like, what the like why are you so hostile? I mean, he doesn't ask it, right? But you would see a lot of these dates. I'm sure you experienced this too on dates.
I actually have not.
You don't go on dates that much, right?
Well, I did. I used to, right? But I mean, I've only dealt with a really crazy bipolar like white girl, which was pretty interesting. But no, I've never really face hostility like that.
Okay, it's not okay. Like, sorry, I didn't get a chance to explain, but the hostility I'm trying to talk about is more so the assumed like you're a dumbass. Like, here, I'll give you an example.
Yeah, give me an example.
One time, a girl was like, "Oh, you didn't put the emergency brake on," and I was like, "No, I mean it's on park already." And then she like presses the button, the emergency brake button, and then she looks at me like. And I'm like she's serious. She's not even fucking around. She's serious. Like she treats like it's like a very assumed like you're a dumbass. Assumed dumbassery. That's what I would call it.
Yes.
And then I'm like, you don't have to give me this like indirect attitude of thinking I'm a dumbass or showing that I'm a dumbass. And plus, we were on flat land. Like, who the fuck puts emergency brake on flat land every time? Sure. You don't need that.
Yeah.
I work on cars. I'm a mechanical engineer. You don't need that. By my engineering calculation, bro.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, you could also say that was just that girl, you know?
An outlier? No,
yeah.
I'll say that it's starting to become more rampant.
Got
and
it.
That's what guys, they start to experience now. That's why I say I think men are suffering in the dating world.
Okay, but I agree with that to a certain extent. But can't you, on the contrary, say that there's a lot of fuckboys out there that women can, and you know, vice versa say, right?
It's been talked about on this podcast so many times. Like, I always talk about like how men, they should be accountable for being like fuckboys. I mean,
100%.
Yeah, you watched that Asian Andrew Tate video where I debated with Logan. I said that, don't you think fuckboys should be held accountable because they're just playing women? And that's another reason why women could be distrusting of men. And
yes,
me, right? You know me. I've been a fuckboy before, but I start to think about my own actions, and I'm like, well, this is not right, you know? So
you never been a fuckboy,
dude. We hung out in like high school, dude. You didn't see me college, bro. No, you're just fucking with me.
Yeah, I'm just messing around.
Yeah, but
no, but I think it's very possible, right? That the reason why women are becoming like this is due to the fact that, you know, there are fuckboys, right? And women get mistreated, so they're kind of like wanting to fight back. And then now it's just sort of this conflict and battle between the genders, you know? Yeah,
but think about it like this, right? Remember, like, feminism was not as prominent like 50 years ago, 50, 60.
Of course not, yeah.
Last century, right?
Of course.
So we'll agree, right, that women before a century ago, they did not have equal opportunity rights.
Yeah.
Okay. So now with this whole spread of feminism, it was debunked that the gender pay gap, it doesn't exist, right? It's debunked within the past decade. Okay. So now that's debunked, women are still requesting more like assistance. They're like, we need more equal rights in the workforce. We need we need equal pay. But it's like, you already have equal pay, you already have equal opportunity work rights. So now I think it's starting to be like a teeter-totter, where now more of the rights fall within women, because we've catered towards women as a society more, that now men probably in the next decade or so will not have as much opportunity for work. And that's kind of what's happening with this whole dating thing, with what you just talked about. Yeah, women get mistreated with like fuckboys, but now they're starting to mistreat men, and that's why I feel like men are suffering a lot. I mean, I'm not disclaiming that like,
of course,
women are not suffering. There's a lot of women. I would say, yeah, it's probably equal.
Yeah.
I would say, honestly speaking, I think it's equal.
Yeah.
But it's on the rise, where like women are starting to, they're starting to be more aggressive towards all men. And then think about it, like the amount of fuckboys there are in this world compared to like normal guys who just work regular jobs and are just the standard fucking normal guy who doesn't make that much money, is not that good looking, doesn't get as many girls, who's still virgin even. Is very minimal compared to like the fuckboy.
Yeah.
But then the girls, they're chasing guys who are the fuckboy alphas, that they get mistreated, and then their whole impression of men are just fuck men, and they treat all men like this.
Yeah. Maybe because women were treated like that such a long time ago, and now, you know, there's more equal rights, right, on both sides. It's like the women are thinking, now it's time for revenge. Now it's my turn to turn the fuck up, baby. You know what I'm saying?
No, I agree. I mean, I think that's why we have to be cognizant about like how the feminist movement shifts, and then it fucks over men. And that's why I say a lot of men are fucking suffering, because, I mean, women still suffer. Well, I'm not discrediting that. Yeah. I think that it's just becoming more rampant that men are starting to suffer more. And especially like the normal dude who has never played a girl, he gets treated like this from a girl who like got mistreated by a fuckboy. It's just like a never-ending fucking circle of chain of fucking fuckery.
People just need to be nice to each other. It's pretty simple, right? Yeah. If you're respectful on both sides and honest, just be straight up. If you like someone, say you like them. If you don't like them, say you don't like them. And don't be fucking ghosting people. You know, I don't know what the deal is with that, right? But the type of person that I am is, when I'm done with somebody, I just
tell them straight up.
They're done. Like, I don't talk to them again.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you ghost them?
No, but I just never talk to them again. And I tell them specifically, I'm not talking to you again.
Okay.
Sort of a deal.
So that's not ghosting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess men should treat women better, like how Jono treats them. But
I'm not saying I treat women that well, you know. Because I could always do better.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
You know,
for sure. But yeah, just going back to this whole thing about like men getting treated wrong now, I think that, yeah, like it's like what I said. The average guy, he didn't even fuck around. And, you know, if you look at the percentage, there's not really a percentage on this, like fuck boy versus normal dudes, right? But if you just think about it, you think about how many fuck boys there are versus like the normal dude that just looks ugly, doesn't get that many girls. It's probably, you're talking about like 2% of guys that you come across that are fuck boys, and then 98% of guys who are normal dudes that you would never consider. So I think that's why, just going back to this, like why men are suffering is because fuckboys ruin the impression for all men, and then women start to just treat men like trash because of that, because she got treated trash by a fuckboy that she couldn't have. and it's hard to cuff up a fuckboy.
Well, it's you never really cuff up a fuckboy.
Yeah, exactly. Or
Right.
it's like it's hard to cuff up like a high value man, like those dudes who are very selective with like the girls that he wants.
Sure.
So, because he's trying to select the best of the best, and she would get her heart broken if she's not selected.
Yeah, but that makes no excuse as to why she should, treat other men poorly, right? Because if someone doesn't like you, they just don't like you, right? Just move on. It's all good. There's billions of people out there.
But then he's sleeping with other girls. As a high value man, I mean, I guess high value men are not really fuck boys. They just have so many options that they're just like, it's just part of the business. Like they're not monogamous. It's just by their nature. They just have so many options that they're just like, okay, I'll just take all these high value girls, and then maybe one day I'll settle. Like they have that option. Yeah, that's their choice, but then it's also like the girl's choice if she wants to continue pursuing this guy. I mean, you have to understand the realm you're facing. Like if you're the type of girl that wants that high value guy, and I'm not saying this is wrong. If you're that type of girl that wants a high value guy, you got to think about the consequences. There's what is the reasoning he would pick you over another girl? If he's a high value guy, he's going to be very selective. So if you're just one of those girls that goes to the club, has hella tattoos, I don't know if that's really necessarily the type of girl he would bring back home. Yeah.
Well, I know you deal with this all the time, right? Because women come up to you all the time and, they want to sleep with you on the daily, right? Everywhere you go. So
no, it's not like that crazy, man. I mean, it's
I'm
not super crazy like that.
and what's wrong with tattoos? You don't like tattoos?
I mean, I think think about like this, like a guy who's like Bill Gates. Think if he was with a girl who had tattoos, would that look good? It's just very common sense. Like we as a society has just normalized these degeneracy behaviors, or not even degeneracy, things that just don't look good. So you're telling me that Bill Gates should cuff up a girl who does OnlyFans? So now,
okay, that's very extreme.
No, that's not extreme in these people's eyes. They think that's normalized. They think that no, that should be okay. Like Bill Gates should date a girl who has OnlyFans. But like, what's wrong with OnlyFans? Like people literally ask in this podcast. You guys could check that out. The OnlyFans, like, what is it called? OnlyFans. Everyone thinks that doing OnlyFans is perfectly okay. You could check that episode. Literally, people are like, "What's wrong with OnlyFans?" No, we all know what the fuck is wrong with OnlyFans, but we're all just trying to avoid it.
Yeah,
we all just avoid it as a society, like thinking, "No, yeah, it's totally fine." Like Bill Gates, Elon Musk, every rich man in the world could be with a fucking OnlyFans. You don't see guys like that doing like with girls like that, right?
Any person that said that has lost their motherfucking mind. Okay, Bill Gates. I'm looking at the camera. Bill Gates marrying a girl with OnlyFans? Really?
Holy shit, that's savage.
How about with the two sleeves of tattoos as well? How about that as well?
Then wait, why'd you ask me what's wrong with that? You're just trying to be controversial?
Well, no. Because personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with tattoos.
Okay.
Like, I would date a girl with tattoos.
Yes.
And, like, to a certain extent, they can't have tattoos on, like, they can't have two eye drops, two teardrops or whatever.
They can't have, like, a sleeve tattoo.
Yeah, it has to be, covered up and things like that, right? But... it's just because you brought up the whole tattoo topic. Yeah. That's why.
and personally, I have dated girls who have tattoos, but they're small. Like, it's like coverable.
Yeah.
Or it's like, for example, like over here, but it's like something very meaningful. But I'm not saying that I'm a high value guy and I would date a girl who, I would only date girls with no tattoos. I'm just saying that like men, I would say on average, prefer girls who have no tattoos or just very little tattoos. We're not gonna date a girl who has like a whole fucking sleeve right here. You know,
I mean, in general, yes.
Like,
you're right.
There's a term for that. It's like a tramp stamp. If you have like a fucking stamp on like over here on your back, like you're near your ass. So it's trampy to have it all over your body, you know. And we all know that inherently, but we try to deny it. We try to cover it up, and it's stupid. It's fucking bullshittery.
Yeah, I mean, with me personally, I just think that, you know, we're born this way, right? It's like a blessing to be alive and just be born the way you are. Why put something permanent on yourself, right? That isn't necessarily supposed to be there. Now, if there is meaning to it, well, so
that makes sense. Yeah. I mean, some people just like art, and I think that's totally
cool.
fine. But it's just like, if you have it all over your body and it's excessive, a lot of guys will not date you, and that's just the nature of it. You can't just be like, oh, well, what's wrong with that? And it's like, okay, we're not saying there's necessarily anything wrong with it. We're just saying the repercussions. It's just nature. It's just, for example, every force has an opposite and equal reaction, right? Newton's third law. So if you push on something and you expect other people to not fucking push back, like you expect people to just not like you.
Yeah.
I mean, you expect people to still like you even after you pushed on them. You pushed your fucking. Sorry, I'm like losing my ability to speak. You pushed their standards out.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, most guys just don't want girls with tattoos. So you just push yourself out of his criteria. You know?
Yeah. Now, I will say, can you imagine this? It would be absolutely pretty epic if the president of the United States, like Joe Biden, if his wife had OnlyFans. Dude, that would sell like there's no tomorrow.
Dude.
And she had tattoos. It's over. It's GG.
Dude, people need to leave a comment below. Like, let me know. I'm very curious. Do you think it's acceptable for your president to have a wife who has OnlyFans?
Oh, actually, Hunter Biden, he loves OnlyFans and he loves hookers. So, I mean...
Wait, who?
Hunter Biden, his son.
Oh, really?
Oh, he spent like millions of dollars on hookers and parties and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, like the real professionals in this world know it's bad. It just looks bad. I mean, why else would you try to hide it? Why else would you try to like hide your nudity or your body and anything that's profane that you've done in the past? Is because you want a better job, right? So people who do OnlyFans, they're stuck with that their whole life. They don't really have the ability to go into like a professional field because they lost that ability when they showed their fucking ass and titties. Just tying this back into why men are suffering. I know we kind of went on a tangent, but why men are suffering is just basically it. I'll reiterate it again. It's like this attitude, you know, that we should accept this degenerate behavior, and we pedestalize women who do OnlyFans, and we allowed to penetrate our society, and we have normalized it to a point where now girls, they get a lot of attention from males, especially online from OnlyFans and Instagram. Women post like a picture of her not really showing her ass like too much, but just like pose like this. And
they're
like
basically showing. They're basically showing it.
Girls do that a lot. Like a lot of like that's the trend. They want to show off their ass like this, and they take photos like this, right? Yeah. It's like, think about it. Like if we were talking 20 years ago, it's not an acceptable thing to do. Like think about if I were to post a picture of me and my boner, and my boner. Like for example, I did this.
I mean, I would like it.
You're fucking gay. But, dude, I think I fucked up my pants from that, but whatever. Yeah, think about it. Like, how weird would it be if guys were posting pictures like that and then they're just like, what the fuck? It's not appropriate. And then now we've just normalized that. And now women think they're hot shit because guys comment heart faces. And they're like, I'm so, like, you're so beautiful.
Well, well, here's the thing. It's not just guys. It's girls too. It's the women as well. They're commenting the same thing.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So
So girls just now have this overly inflated ego because they post nudity and inappropriate shit like this. It's pretty much nudity. I mean, you're showing your ass, like you're in a bikini. It's your ass. I can practically see your vagina through that, you know? It's.
Are you zooming in or what?
I mean, I don't zoom in just because, like, I'm like, oh, fucking, that's hot. It's like, I zoom in because I'm like, Instagram allows this shit? And sometimes there's even photos where girls, they take a picture in a white shirt and it's wet. You know, in a white shirt, when it's wet, you could see through it, right?
Sure.
They take a picture like that. Instagram fucking allows it.
Wow.
Fucking insane.
Wow.
So, no, have you seen pictures online on Instagram where like girls, you could see their nipples?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure I have.
Like 10 years ago, that would be flagged by fucking
yeah.
Facebook, and then you would get a penalty for that. But now it's crazy. Like, I always ask, well, how is this okay?
Yeah, it's so different now, right? If you think about it, even dating back to a few years ago, right before OnlyFans, just really wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
And now, everyday people, like people from our high school, people from our college, right? They have OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a very interesting time we're living in, where I guess people show off their body and it's all good.
It's interesting because we've just normalized it. I want to say something. So there's this account called Milk Mama. Sorry, I'll say it again. Milk Mama Katrina. Look it up. I'm not gonna post it. I'm not gonna show the screen or anything because she's pretty much breastfeeding a child. I think it's a doll, but you could see her fucking nipples in this. Here, I'll show this to Jono. Let's get his impression. Like, tell me, how is that legal on Instagram, bro?
Whoa.
And you know, the funny thing is she has an OnlyFans.
What in
she
the
has an
world?
OnlyFans.
Wow.
And it's like she tries to cover
So
it up.
she's obviously she's monetizing her breastfeeding her kid, and on top of that, she's getting money from OnlyFans as well.
No, she's covering up like her, I guess, inappropriateness by using this breastfeeding thing. Like, she's like, breastfeeding tip.
Oh,
blah 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 blah. And so guys would click into her picture, her Instagram account, and then would see the OnlyFans.
That's sickening.
It is sickening.
Yeah,
it's hella sickening.
Yeah.
Like, look, OnlyFans. That's her. You see? I'm not fucking around.
Well, I'm buying that tonight.
Hey, it's because of that attitude that hella girls are overly inflated. So
yeah,
with their ego.
No, I don't. I think all of that is just a big sham. I think it's bullshit. I don't know why women do it, but to each their own, right? To each their own.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is. Let me see if it works for me. I'll take my nipple out too and put a fucking little baby on there. Like, go to Toys R Us, buy a plastic doll and just whatever, right? See if I can monetize that bad boy.
No, you know, that's another thing, man. I mean, I feel like men, like, they could show their nipples on Instagram and it's no problem. I mean, if we're heading down this path of we don't even know if this person is male or female and we can't assume genders, then should all people's nipples not be able to be shown? So then I started thinking, dude, now we've headed down a path where everything is super fucking confusing. Now I don't even know what the fuck I can do. And it's like people like this can show their body parts.
You could do whatever you want.
What the hell?
You know, at UC Santa Cruz, there's this thing called Free the Nipple, right? Have you heard of this movement?
I have, yeah.
And so I was a first year, right? This is like my first month of class, and I'm casually walking through the student union, and I see, and I'm just walking casually to class, and I turn my head downwards, and I'm like, just shell shocked, because there is a girl completely naked with a sign that says "Free the Nipple," and there's a phrase under, I forgot, but it was a really interesting phrase. and she's just standing there for hours and hours, completely naked. And then the weirdest part was people were walking by her as if nothing was going on, and I'm looking at this like, guys, are you guys seeing this, or is it just me? Because I was just like, whoa, like I wasn't expecting that at 8 a.m. You know, good morning to me, woo.
Dude, wait. So let me be a little bit controversial. So what's wrong with that?
There is nothing wrong with that. It just shocked me.
So there's nothing wrong with like her showing her nipple in public.
In my opinion, she
As
could
a
do
woman.
In my opinion, she could do whatever she wants. There was actually a cop standing next to her.
Really?
Yeah, I guess in case someone.
So you don't think there's like any morality issue with that? Like ethical issue?
I personally don't think so.
Or I'm probably phrasing it a little bit extreme, but civil issue.
Well, I think. Okay, I don't think people should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like in public places or everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
But I guess this was an example where a movement was going on and she was making a statement, right? But if you were to go to your Starbucks and everybody was freaking naked, it'd be a pretty disturbing place.
Yeah. So if I wanted to create a movement where it's like free the dick movement, and then I just get a bunch of dudes, like a bunch of bros.
All day.
We all have boners.
All day.
And then we just...
They probably wouldn't be like that. It would probably be pretty small.
We go to the same spot that girl showed up at in Santa Cruz. We show up with our boners.
Yeah.
And then that would be okay. So we have a pass on that? Just because...
You know what? We could try it out. No,
okay, but Jono, you see where I'm getting at?
Yes,
it's a little extreme then. It's a little bit ridiculous because, like, for example, we want to legalize hunting, okay? We want to legalize hunting animals. So then we start having this, like, whole protest where people start hunting animals in front of people.
Yeah.
And then people could get hurt.
Yes.
In the crossfire,
yes.
Right? So then what I'm saying this is because if I'm showing my dick, or me, I get like a bunch of dudes, we all show our dicks, our boners, whatever bullshit, right?
That would be very strange.
It would be very strange.
Of course.
I admit, I'm not trying to have that normalized, but like, imagine if I were to do that, then a lot of girls, number one, would be like, oh, damn, that's kind of hot. either that's kind of hot, or it'd be like, okay, that's fucking weird. Or it's like both.
Most likely it would be weird unless they're African American.
Why African American?
You know, because we were talking about the sizing earlier.
Take a look at that video. We were talking about like sizing issues, like how, I don't know, Asians pack the smallest. But yeah, I mean, if, say, for example, I had some black friends too, okay? Say for example, we had some BBCs up in there, and then a lot of girls would be like, holy shit, you know?
Like, I like that one or whatever.
Yeah, they would be like, I like that one.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I think everyone would think it's weird. But that's what I mean by like we've catered towards women as a society, because like there's this free the nipple. It's like this whole gender pay gap thing, but it's like there is no gender pay gap. It got debunked. And then now it's like we normalize OnlyFans. So we've catered to women as a whole society. And then I think that's why men are kind of suffering, because now we've pedestalized women so much that men don't even feel a value of importance in this world. And women can do like Instagram. Like you see a bunch of influencers that are majority, they're women. And it's all guys who are just liking their pictures and trying to get at them. Even though this guy's a nobody.
Hilarious.
This guy's a nobody, and then leaving a comment thinking she's going to reply, you're fucking 200, 100 follower, and you're a fat dude. And you're just pedestalizing
so
her.
Hilarious.
So not only is it that like we as a society, but men are to blame as well. Like these weak men. Because we as, not we like me and you, but we as men and weak men, partially weak men, have normalized it. So I think actually, sorry to cut you off a little bit. Yeah, I think that's actually the key element to this entire thing, right? Yeah.
It's the weak men, because if there weren't these men buying this stupid OnlyFans subscription,
yeah,
right, it wouldn't be a thing. This whole issue wouldn't exist and it wouldn't be normalized.
Yeah.
Right?
Or it's like that cop who was standing next to that woman. If he just allowed it and he's like, oh, that's fine. That's fucked, man. I mean, I'm assuming that cop was a male. Was it a male?
Yeah. He was a male. I mean, it's not like he was looking or anything like that, right? He wasn't staring, but no. When I saw that, I was just like, I was shell shocked, and it's just one of those things where, guys, don't buy OnlyFans. All right, there's no reason to. I don't know what you're doing. Why are you messaging these girls? All right, they probably have fake people on, like, not fake people, but they have paid people to respond to you. All right,
Yeah.
All right, you're never gonna go on a date with them. All right, they're taking your hard-earned money, and why don't you just go out and approach some women anywhere? You can go to a Vons, a Safeway, you can go to a grocery store, you can go anywhere, right?
You guys are not taking matters into your own hands, and that's why you guys are suffering too. You're self-inflicting a little bit.
Take responsibility, be a man, don't leave a little comment. But what is that going to do? What is that going to do? Oh, and then you're going to pay on top of that? You're going to pay money on top of that?
You know, even these streamers, right, they get paid money. They don't even have to show their ass or titties, and they're getting free donations from these dudes who love watching their Twitch stream.
Yeah.
Like, let's not even talk about just OnlyFans, but
exactly
just Twitch in general.
Yeah, they're playing games, and they're not even good at games. and people are donating to them, watching them play a game.
Because they're hot. I mean, there's even better streamers that are professional at playing games, but men prefer
that's respectable
to watch.
Though. Like,
that's respectable.
Yeah, if you're a professional gamer,
but
but
you're a girl you're just average, and then you're getting a lot of views just because you're average and you're a girl, that's a little bit like cheating. You know, you just have the genetic lottery at that point, and then guys are just like drooling over you and just watching your content because you're hot.
Yeah,
you know.
To me, this is majority like the man's fault. You know what I'm saying? Because they're the ones that are contributing. If these attractive women are on stream,
but I will say that women
and no one's giving them any money. Well,
but then like at the same time, like women are still partially to blame because. Yeah, men are the ones that planted the seed, but then women are the one that are still allowing this to grow because they're just kind of sowing the seed at this point, you know?
Sure, of course.
Is that the right word? Sowing the seed, or sowing is like the opposite effect.
No. It's, they're planting more seeds.
I mean, they're entertaining it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and they know it's addicting. You know, they know that,
but it's bad for society, man.
It's absolutely terrible for society. People should just go outside and do something else.
Yeah, but much respect to those girls who are actually pretty, and they just post things and they don't want the attention. Like they keep their profiles private, but still, like guys could see their profile picture. Like it's a little bit hot, but you know what I'm saying? Like even though they have a private account, you could still see their picture, but they reject all those dudes that try to follow them.
Oh,
so much respect to those girls.
Well, that's just a normal person.
That's the type of high value girl I would deem as high value. Like you're hot, and then you still reject a lot of these guys and the attention. You would reject the attention. You don't try to show your ass even more, even though you're already hot. Mm-hmm. You know, you try to cover it up, and there is something wrong with showing your ass and just showing skin in general.
Just skin,
like people comments for sure. They're gonna be like, "Oh, what's wrong with like showing like taking ass pictures?" There's fucking big shit wrong with that, man.
Well,
no, like what we talked about. Bill Gates would not be with a girl who's going like this. You know, just think about it. You know.
Well, let me ask you a question then. Okay, so let's just say, a woman does not do OnlyFans, but she is a model. So obviously her Instagram is public.
Yeah.
Right? And, you know, models have to do sometimes swimsuits. They have to do every type of attire, right?
Yeah.
Is that okay in your eyes?
I would say like it depends. Like for me, like personally, right? I would say it depends.
And they don't
like,
have OnlyFans, right?
What type of model are you doing? Are you showing like your nipples and stuff like that? But
No, you're not. You're not a nude model. You're just a normal model.
Yeah. Okay. But this goes back to that question we had on full panel thinks girlfriend doing OnlyFans is perfectly okay. So that video, right? They asked me the same question. It's like 3 people, they thought doing OnlyFans is okay. And they're like, so what about the people doing like nude scenes in Hollywood? And I answered it like this. Well, they're doing it for a story. They're doing it for like something that's actually a movie that has a plot.
Exactly.
Whereas you're modeling for like nudity, that's different, you know? So I would say that like if you're in Hollywood and you do a nude scene, if it's not like super crazy like all the fucking time, that's fine. But if every movie you're being cast for is like you're nude, I think that's a problem, bro. Like you're just like an extra at that point. You're not part of a storyline. And then this goes back to like you asked about like model, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so nude models are a no-no, but they can do nude scenes once in a while for Hollywood or like movies. So that's fine because that has a story.
Got it.
But if it's a model, you're just looking good, so guys could jack off to you then at that point.
I wouldn't really say that. What if you're just a model that is modeling clothes, and then the brands use the pictures to advertise, right?
That's
not everything is just for male personal satisfaction per se.
I mean, it has to have a purpose, you know. If it's mostly like if it's 80% for male satisfaction, there's a problem with that. Like if for example, you made a really good nude scene in Hollywood and a lot of guys, instead of just looking at the story, they're just like, oh fuck, I'm gonna go into my computer and then watch this privately. There's a problem with that then at that point, because I would feel like too many guys are jacking off to you. Like majority of guys are jacking off to you. You know what I mean? So that doesn't make you a high value woman anymore, you know. That's problematic at that point.
Yeah. Or you could look at it like, hey, you know, you're with a girl, right, or a woman that a bunch of guys want to be with.
Well, you could also look at it like this.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are being entertained by your act of showing off your body. And yeah, maybe you're not reciprocating, but you're feeding into this and you know you are. It's like, for example, a girl posts like a hot picture of her ass. A lot of guys are pressing like on that because they're like, it's eye candy to them, you know? And you're entertaining it. I don't like you entertaining it. A lot of guys would not like that. And it doesn't matter if you're getting entertained by them, you know, like if they're messaging you and you're just ignoring it, you're not being entertained by them. The fact that you're able to show it off, like your nude body or whatever, just anything, you're kind of just giving them stuff like sexual gratification.
Yeah.
In that podcast, Saint was talking about how his ex-girlfriend did OnlyFans, didn't reveal any skin, but a lot of guys would buy her feet pictures. I would say that's a little bit strange, because then now a lot of guys are jacking off to my girl, you know, and I don't know how I feel about that. And then
okay, so what if you were, let's just say you were Channing Tatum. Okay, and so you're on that movie. What is it called? Magic Mike, right?
Okay.
And so this is kind of like the vice versa situation.
Yeah.
Right. So you're with a woman, right? Do you think? So you think that way about? You know, a woman doing OnlyFans and doing like a lot of news scenes, blah blah blah.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
But you're Channing Tatum and you're doing a lot of news scenes in a movie as well, right?
I would probably.
Do you think the woman has the right to feel the same way that you do?
Yes,
like,
she definitely has the right to feel the same way I do.
Okay.
But I will say that women, this is just my belief, I feel like women are not as horny and thirsty as men are. Like what? Like
that is true.
Statistics show.
Yeah.
Look at all the
fact. Yeah.
Look at all the influencer girls out there versus influencer guys. And another reason is that we have strip clubs where girls are showing nudity. We have brothels that are women having sex with men. So there are, I'm probably going to cut that word out.
I cut that out.
There's prostitutes, there's whores, but they are all female. Very little you have male.
You're right.
Like some people will be like, oh, but there's male strippers.
No,
Look at the proportion compared to like women strippers, right? So I think by nature, men are just thirsty. So like me being Channing Tatum and then showing off my body, I don't think a lot of women will be masturbating to that. But yeah, she has every right to feel weird. And if she has a problem with it, I would definitely stop doing that, you know?
Yeah, now that you said that, you know, it brings up a good point because it's completely different. You know,
it's completely different.
Yeah. The whole man and woman dilemma.
I'm not trying to be like double standard, but you just look at the genetic makeup of like why do you think there's so many fuckboys out there and not many fuck girls? Because men, I think honestly, men cannot control their dicks. And They can't control their dicks because they're like, oh, I want to try something new, and this appetite for me is not enough. Like I want sushi, I want McDonald's, I want Mexican food, I want tacos. Like they want to try everything all at once. Like why do you think like back then empires, right? You have kings, you have emperors, they had many wives because from the beginning of time it was always telling us that men cannot control their fucking dicks. I think that's the main reason why it would be a little bit more okay for a man to do that. But if I was showing my dick and having too much passionate sex in that like nude scene of that Hollywood movie, then that's hard no, dude.
Well, awesome.
Yeah.
Cheers, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up here, but just want to say thank you guys for watching, and thank you, Jono. I didn't introduce you for this one because there's other videos, so make sure to check that out where Jono talks about, you know, the whole
a lot of interesting topics.
Yeah, why do girls not like Asian men? I think that was a pretty good one. We also talked about MC, so if you're curious what the hell MC is, that's a pretty good one. And make sure to subscribe, like this video, and then we'll see you guys next time on Controvert Podcast. Peace out.
Cheers.